what's the best place for citizens from the UK to retire to if they're wanting to leave the UK? Well, I don't have all the answers, but I have some suggestions. In a recent video I did about leaving the UK, which is my plan, and I plan to retire and leave, I was asked a lot about, well, where will you go? You know, where do UK citizens go? Well, there's plenty of options out there. We're not just tied to this one country. And I'll go through some of the options with you, and you can see it's not that difficult. Now, obviously, you can't just get on a plane and fly to a country and live there. You have to have visas and permits, but they're not that difficult to get in some of these countries. And there are many places where the cost of living is so much better than it is here in the UK. But I guess it really does depend on what you're looking for. Now, personally, I'm not interested in living in another Western country. I mean, if I was, it would be Australia, but you can't get a retirement visa for Australia unless you have family living there. So that kind of rules that out for me. And, you know, watching other people's videos, I'm not sure the USA is going to be any better than the UK. So I'm not interested in even pursuing that. But let's look further afield. There's so many places. So of course, before Brexit, we could just go and live in Europe wherever we wanted. And that's not possible now. But that doesn't mean we can't live in places in Europe. And just means we have to get a visa. And there are several places there where it's fairly easy to get a visa and where a lot of British people go to retire. So France, they have a long stay visa, and that leads to permanent residency after a period of time. In Spain, you have the non-lucrative visa. As long as you can show you have income or savings, you can get a 1-year visa, which is renewable, and after 5 years, it can lead to permanent residency. Malta, which is a very popular place for retirees. I actually went on my honeymoon to Malta and it was full of retirees. That was many, many years ago. But I know that it's very popular and it's a very nice place to live. Good cost of living, good healthcare. Quite easy to get a visa there to retire. Bulgaria is a place that a lot of retirees are now talking about. It seems to be getting very popular, and they have long-term retirement visa options, and that has a low cost of living. And then Portugal. Portugal's always been very popular with retirees. It ranks high on all the indexes for good places to retire to, and you can get a D7 visa for that. I did another video on that because obviously I have in-laws and my brother is going to retire to Portugal. So I did look into that and I'll put a link to that video here. But fairly straightforward to get as long as you can prove you have an income. And your pension will suffice. But looking outside of Europe, now you have the Caribbean. Now I love Antigua and Barbuda, and if I could, that would be a possibility for me. But you need money to live in the Caribbean. But if you've got the money, it's fairly straightforward. They have the Citizenship by Investment program. Now you're going to need a couple of $100,000 to start. And you invest in either government funds or you buy a property and you get your citizenship. Now, I know that's not possible for a lot of us, but if you've got the money and you've got your heart set on the Caribbean, it's a fairly easy process. It's probably one of the most expensive ones. So let's go, where else do people go? So South America is quite popular, especially I guess with US citizens because it's closer to home for them, whereas we'd be more inclined to go to Europe. But that's a possibility as well. Panama always ranks very high on these global lists for places to retire to. I don't believe it's the cheapest place to live, but it does have a good cost of living. One of the things it does have is good healthcare. Now you can get a retirement visa there, they call it the pensionard visa, if you have $1,000 a month coming in. Which makes you wonder why they say it's not the cheapest place to live, because that's quite a low income, but who knows. But I know it's very popular. And if you get the retirement visa, you get lots of benefits and health benefits that come with it. So, you know, that's an option. A lot of people do go there. And Costa Rica is another popular place with the pensionard visa, which you'll get if you can prove you have a steady income. And Mexico, again, another popular place with retirees. I think some people worry about the safety there, but there's lots of different areas there. And although people talk about the safety, I've yet to meet someone that's gone to Mexico and hasn't loved it. I loved it. I'd certainly think about it. And then the other popular continent is Southeast Asia, and there's lots of options there. Thailand is very popular with people who've got a low cost of living, great healthcare. It's such a big country. You've got so much choice of where you'd want to live. You've got beaches, you've got cultural towns. I mean, I can see why a lot of people like it. And you can get a pensioner's visa there if you're 50 plus and you can prove you've got income and savings. It's not that difficult to get a visa there. Malaysia would be another good place. Again, good healthcare. Majority speaks English. Very diverse countries, so something for everyone. The only problem with Malaysia is, again, you're going to need some capital. So they have the Malaysia My Second Home program, and you need to deposit a certain amount of money into a bank account and you have to buy a property. So that's only going to suit you if you have some money that you're able to invest. But that's an option if you do have that. And then you have Cambodia. And they give retirement visas for a year at a time and it costs about $300 a year. It's pretty simple to get. So there are many options out there if you want to retire outside of the UK. And there's bound to be something that suits everybody. Now, I do think you need to go and spend time in a location you're thinking of. You know, make sure it is for you, it's the right place for you. I'm going to do another video, because otherwise this one will be far too long, about how I plan to explore these different countries to find the place that suits me. So what do you think to these options? Have you retired already and gone to one of these places or somewhere else? Feel free to share your stories. I love to hear where other people have gone and what they think. But don't think that you're just stuck to the UK and it's impossible to leave and go elsewhere, because there's so many places in this world, and there's, you know, I've just listed a few. There's so many other places, and somewhere out there is everybody's ideal place. Now, your ideal place may well be the UK. And if it is, you know, that's great. But if it's not, we have options. Anyway, thanks for watching. Gosh, it's been very windy here today. I came for a walk out in Stratford-upon-Avon. It's on an old railway line and it's been made into a nature reserve, and it's for cyclists and walkers and horse riders. It's very pleasant. Got to make the most of these sunny days we get here in the UK. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to add your comments below. Take care. Bye.